All right, well, later today, around 5 o'clock, maybe after that, I'll be heading out to Dallas. You guys in Austin know that's a really bad idea because traffic's going to be terrible. We'll probably be on the road for about 6 or 7 hours, but that's the latest we can leave today. And it'll get a lot of time for us to sit there and talk and think about what we're going to see this coming Saturday or tomorrow in the Cotton Bowl. Texas Longhorns versus Oklahoma Sooners. Red River rivalry, best rivalry in the Big 12. And it's taking a hit this week because Oklahoma hasn't looked great. But on the other side, the Texas Longhorns haven't looked great. And last week, they got their butts whipped. And I want to say this to the Longhorns fans right now, and I saw this last week. And maybe this is just me and I'm different. But guys, I see a lot of Longhorns fans taking shots at the Sooners because they barely beat Cincinnati and they barely beat Air Force. They had a bad game against Utah State. Trying to say, look at this, blah, blah, blah. Those are valid points to say, hey, Texas, you're not out of this. This isn't impossible to do. But don't make fun of the Oklahoma Sooners right now. We got our tails whipped, okay? And also, don't make fun of the Aggies from last night, okay? It was a great ball game against Oklahoma State. Don't be Aggies about the Aggies, okay? Because we got our tails whipped, all right? We need to have higher standards, and we need to be able to have a bit more perspective than a lot of those other fan bases. But coming into Saturday, I am getting more confident, and maybe most of that's probably due to the fact that I am a student here, and it's getting close to the game, and so you always think, hey, we can win every game. But one of the things I read was in the LA Times. It was the UCLA perspective from last week. And the UCLA players, when quoted after the game, they said, we knew we were going to win that game when they were warming up. Because the Texas Longhorns players apparently were joking around and laughing and not taking themselves seriously before the game. And the UCLA players saw that, knew they weren't being taken seriously, and said, we're going to beat these guys. And they did it. They whipped the dog out of Texas. So what's that say? One, immaturity on the team. But two, I want to see this team play when we know we're going to have to take someone seriously. That's not an excuse for last week because UCLA manned up and beat the crap out of Texas. But now this week it's a time where, as Longhorns fans and just the Texas Longhorns football team, they're going to have to look at themselves and say, okay, where are we going to look to find a way to win this game? Because I still have faith in this Texas defense. I still believe this Texas defense is good enough to keep us in any ball game this year. However, this Texas offense so far, even in the Texas Tech game, which is the best win we've had so far this season, we had a lot of good spurts, we had a lot of good plays, but we still couldn't move the ball consistently. There were times, 2 to 3 drives in a row, we would just stall. Turn the ball over or what. So, here's the deal this weekend. Texas got to get over that. Texas is going to have to give this defense some time. I'm not even talking about scoring. I'm talking about Texas offense has got to just move the football, fight for field position, and give our guys on defense a rest. Because I still think that the best unit coming in this Saturday is the Texas defense. And we'll see what happens. So how do you beat Oklahoma? Well, you don't let them score. I was on the show with Onikuno and stuff, and I said, if Texas is going to win this thing, I think it's going to be 13-7. And to hold Oklahoma to 7 points is pretty crazy. But I firmly believe that that's what's going to happen if Texas wants to win this thing. I think that Texas is going to have one of the best defensive performances we've seen in a long time from this team if we want to pull this out tomorrow. And Oklahoma's not invincible. We've seen that, okay? They've had struggles this year. But they've been nowhere close to what Texas has. Because at no point, even though the Sooners have struggled in games, they've always come out and won. They've always found a way to get out with a W. The Longhorns last week, as I said, accepted defeat. And that's one thing you can't say about the Sooners this year. They may have looked bad, they may have not had the greatest games. At no point this year were they saying, we're going to accept defeat. We did that last week. Texas did. So, do I think Texas can win? Yes. Do I think we will win? You know what? Sure. I'll throw it out there. Texas is going to win this game tomorrow. What do I have to back that up? I'm a fan. I don't think it's hopeless. I really don't think it's hopeless. But it's hard to defend this team right now after what you saw last week and what we've kind of seen throughout the season. So, do I think this team's going to show up and play hard? Yes, that's a given. This is Texas versus Oklahoma, okay? Do I think we have enough horses to win this game? Yes. I think we've got the recruits and the playmakers to get the job done. But what's going to happen with the coaching staff is we're going to have to stop beating our heads against the wall with this running game. I know that Oklahoma has struggled in stopping the run, and people are saying, hey, this is the game where Texas can get the running game going. I don't care how much OU has struggled stopping the run. Texas struggled to run the ball against Rice and Wyoming. Okay? So I don't care how bad OU's rush defense is supposed to be. I can guarantee you it's not as bad as those two teams. So if we can get a running game going, we'll win. Texas will win, no doubt. If we can get that going. But what's going to hurt us is I think Oklahoma, because Venables likes to rush the quarterback anyways. UCLA didn't really do that. UCLA knew they'd get pressure with the front four and drop everybody up back in coverage and give us no plays downfield. So you take that mindset of a defense and then you move it to more of attacking style. So now you don't bring as much pressure, don't bring as many guys, but you still get enough pressure. Plus you have coverage downfield. This is where Garrett Gilbert, we're going to see what kind of quarterback he's made of. Win or lose, that's the main thing I want to see is where this guy's progression is. If he goes out there and he battles and we come out losing, that's fine. I can take a loss when I see, and I've said this before, I can take a loss for my team when they man up and put it all on the line, and I can say, you know what? Not that, there's no way we could have won that game, not just making mistakes. It's about there was no quit. At no point before the gun sounded at the end did I say Texas is lost. There's no way that they're not going to try to come back. And I saw that last week. So hopefully Mac and the coaches have got under their skin and said, look, guys, what happened last week is unacceptable. Being young, being inexperienced has nothing to do with effort and intensity. So we're going to get effort and intensity this week. The Sooners, it's if they look like they did in 2000, back when they had Bradford, we wouldn't have a chance in this game. But the fact that they've had some struggles does give us Longhorns fans hope that we can pull this out. But Longhorns fans, I don't want to hear, before this game, I don't want to hear about, hey, we're still in the Big 12 championship race. Hey, if we win this game, we can take the conference and we could run the table with that. This isn't about the Big 12 anymore. This isn't about Oklahoma anymore. This is about what this young team can do to salvage a season and just just to prove to themselves and to this university that going on past this game, that don't make this the year where everyone can get their licks in on Texas. Because Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, heck, even Baylor and all of them are talking about this is the year they're going to beat Texas because we're down. Don't let that happen. If they beat us, they beat us, but don't let it be because this is the year to get your licks in. Okay? As of right now, there shouldn't be a year where it's time to get your licks in on Texas. I'm not saying Texas should win the conference every year or even be the best two teams in the conference every year. But it should be every time the Texas Longhorns pop up on someone's schedule, they need to be scared just a little bit to be like, oh crap, that this team could beat us. And that's what I asked for from this team. So, Texas wins 13-7 this week. That's based on watching the games, but mostly based on I'm a Texas Longhorn student. So, guys, I know I'm not as excited and pumped as I probably should be for this game. But it's, they got to prove something to me this week. And we'll see if they do it. So, hook 'em horns, Texas fight. I'll see you guys at the State Fair tomorrow. And hopefully we can get out of there around 5:30 or so and get out there with a W. And hopefully get them Sooners fans singing the eyes of Texas. If not, I know they've got some chant or something I'll be singing. But and I'll be doing it if we don't pull this out. But trying to have faith in you guys, Longhorns. I don't know why. You hadn't really given me a reason to, but I'm sticking with you. Hook 'em horns, guys.